Now that we've looked at XML documents and the structure and so forth, let's now think about schemas. You're always going to hear the word schema mentioned anytime you're dealing with XML, and there's a simple reason for that. The schema describes the structure of the document. Now, let's go back to the previous example that I gave you back at the beginning of the course. If you remember in that diagram, we took a look at moving data between two XML documents. Now, the one thing that we didn't mention, or we didn't talk about in that video, was schema, because think about this. If I'm going to trade data from, or take data from this database and create an XML document to put into this database, this XML data has to be structured correctly to go into this database, or I'm going to have to parse it and make some changes to it. The easy way to do this is to establish a schema, and a schema is usually a separate document. And so we'll take the schema and say, okay, look, this document has to be in this order or this structure. Once it is, then we'll consider it valid and we'll pass the data across. Same thing. We can put a schema document out here and check this data to make sure that this data matches the structure. Now, I don't want to confuse you here, but this schema right here would be built to match the data structure that's needed here, and this one would be built to match the data structure that's needed here. And I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, go back and watch it over again. But that's what the schema is. Now, let's go back to where we were. The schema then describes the structure of the XML document. It tells us what data is allowed in the document, what data is required in the document, and how that data is organized. Now, this will seem a little funky the first time you see it, but trust me, you do this all the time, and here's a great simple little example of that. If I give you my email address and I tell you it's mctmark@hotmail, you're going to immediately tell me, whoa, that's not a valid email address. Now, how do you know it's not a valid email address? Simple. You can look at it and tell, because there's no @ here and there's no .com, .net, .org, .something on the end of it. See, you have the schema for email in your brain. You know what it is. It's some characters, an @ some more characters, and a period, and 3 letters. Without that, you know it's not a valid email address. Now, do you know for sure that there is an mctmark@hotmail.com? That you don't know, but you can tell by looking at the structure whether it's correct or not. That is exactly what a schema document does for XML. It doesn't check the actual data payload. It does check the structure of the document. So in the upcoming videos, in the next 5 or 6 videos, we're going to dig into the world of schemas a little bit and learn how to use them.